And welcome back to the Kiosk Presents in Buffalo and Niagara Falls. You know, we've had a hot summer. It's really been great, but we're into September now. It's time to trade in those flip-flops for some fall fashion. And here to help us do that today is renowned fashion designer Zac Posen from his Tribeca studio in New York City. Zac, welcome to the Kiosk Presents.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, Buffalo.
Hey, it's really great to have you here. You know, Fashion Week is upon us in New York City, and I understand you're working with the folks at Diet Coke to bring it to us kind of in a whole new way through the internet.
Absolutely. Well, Diet Coke and the CFDA partnered on supporting young talent, and they did a contest with their new logo, which is a broken up logo, and sort of asked young design students how they would interpret that with a t-shirt that's going to be available at Targets this weekend. And me and a designer, Cynthia Rowley, and a designer, Loren Scott, with Mick Jagger, got together and we looked at these t-shirts, and we found one t-shirt and we said he's the winner, and we are going to be celebrating that designer with Glamour Live, and they'll be kicking off Fashion Week with a party at the renowned nightclub called The Box, which is sort of an old theater that's been rebuilt into the Lower East Side. And you can follow that party at Diet Coke on Twitter.
Wow, and I understand you're also taking over Diet Coke's Facebook page as well for Glamour Live, the party presented by Diet Coke?
There will be people, yes, on the Facebook. I don't know if I'll directly be on the Facebook, but I promise you there'll be good people there.
Wonderful. Hey, let's talk about fall fashions in general. I know you've got your own clothing line that you're going to be rolling out. Tell us about what's going to be hitting the runways during Fashion Week and what you've got in store for us.
Sure. Well, it's an interesting moment because you ask about fall fashion. Well, fall fashion is about to go into the stores now, any minute. And I think for fall fashion, really bold colors. There definitely was an Asian influence in the collection, so I think look for those kind of textile mixing, what I call lacquer, lantern red, and sharp tailoring. This is what I think are really strong components of it. The collection that we're working on these next sort of week and a half is for next spring, if you can believe it or not. So we have to work in a really advanced cycle so that we can produce and sell the pieces and get them to all the stores. And we have two brands. I have an affordable brand that is accessible and easy and signature, and that's called Z-Spoke. And with Z-Spoke, I just felt there was a necessity to create sort of the highest quality, most fashionable product at the most accessible price points. It's sort of my labor of love for the woman, who can't afford designer clothing, because it's important for everybody to feel empowered and fashionable, and I wouldn't want anybody to be able to miss out on that. And then, so we do that, and we're going to be styling and shooting that, and that will be online soon, and we're shooting that on a very famous supermodel and good friend of mine, so that will be exciting. And then we start our preparation for our spring collection, which we're showing on September 9th at Lincoln Center. And, it's like putting on a mini musical in 1 week, and the show and the presentation happens for like 12 to 15 minutes, and, you put your blood, sweat, and tears into it, and you hope, that you're satisfied, that your retailers, your customers, at the press. It's a lot to manage and balance, but, you do the best job you can. And, what's amazing about our industry and fashion is that it's a continuous creative cycle. So as soon as you're sort of ending one collection, I'm picking my colors for a year and a half from now.
Wow.
And, I have to start that process now so that they can get the colors right on the different kinds of fabric or the different ideas that I'm thinking about. So it's sort of a constant creative process, and it's really a true sort of testament to art and commerce balancing.
Well, that's great. Well, with all the activity and events in Fashion Week, when do you sleep, or do you just go 2 weeks without sleep?
No, I try to sleep. It's very important to sleep so you have clarity in the fittings. You don't want to, impale a model. when you're doing a
Yeah,
fitting
well,
or pinning or, you know, cut a dress too short. You know, I think it's, you know, listen, it's very little sleep. And, you know, I've been doing this since I'm 21, and I started working in fashion when I was 16. So I sort of, you know, I don't know anything else but this kind of rhythm for now. And, you know, I think it's probably very similar to performing arts in that way, where you just sort of put the show on the road. But, you know, it's a great labor of love. Obviously, you know, there are great rewards to working in fashion and the perks that come with it. We get to be around beautiful women and see beautiful clothing, and I feel very blessed that I'm able to do that. But really, every day it's about working with my craftspeople and keeping American craft alive and teaching that to a younger generation in my studio, who get to work with sort of great talents that I've collected over the years.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, Zac, thank you so much for joining us here on the Kiosk Presents. Everybody in Buffalo, make sure you get to Twitter and check out Diet Coke's new T-shirt design that is going to be shown, and Zac will be hosting us that through Glamour Live, presented by Diet Coke. Thanks again for joining us on the Kiosk Presents.
Thank you very much. Have a good morning, Buffalo.